Welcome to the Friday Power Lunch, a weekly show amplifying the voices of the Virginia grassroots. Each week, we provide engaging conversations about politics, culture, and women making change. Produced by the unstoppable women of Network Nova, our motto is, when we vote, we win. The Friday Power Lunch is recorded before a live Zoom audience. Follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and show us some love and become a sponsor through Patreon. The Friday Power Lunch. Badass women getting things done. So glad you're in the room today. I hope you have your dancing shoes on, you have your coffee by your side, because folks, from Network Nova Live, it is May 24th, 2024. And yes, you are on the Friday Power Lunch. I'm Catherine White, your host, bringing you the guests, the issues, the action. We are fueling the grassroots community across Virginia, coast to coast, and we get things done. We're stronger and smarter together. A special extended show, a primary power hour with our awesome VA Dem candidates for our hot minute. So we want to get things started so we know how things are going in the room. So we know how things are going to go in the room. If you're in the room, you've been on our show, make sure you keep civil in the chat. We have candidates that are taking their time out of their day. They're going to give us a hot minute, tell them about ourselves. So in the chat, your job is to build everybody up, talk about what you're doing, be positive, encourage everybody. And if you don't, we'll kick your butt out. That's what we do. So, and our after chat, our favorite part of the program, at 1 o'clock, we like to turn the lights down and we like to talk about what we're going to do together to make sure that we have victory in November, but also that we really are a caring community, and this is where we build our community out. And thank you to our patrons. You see them in the room. They have the fancy backgrounds on. These are the heart of our show. They put money on our Patreon cup. It helps us pay for our Zoom. It makes us show up every week to do the work we're doing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Melody Cartwright has been our latest sponsor for the Patreon. Thank you for that. And we're on Spotify. I have an audio version on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you can also listen to the show. And remember, no one is going to save us, folks. It is up to us. So let's get this primary power hour going. So Spinell Norton, let's get in the room and settled. How are you doing?
So I'm doing fine. I had to get the dog settled. I had to tell my husband to be quiet. All that kind of stuff you gotta do.
I love it. I love it. And everybody in this space understands that. And so what I love today, what we're doing, and again, I can't say it enough. When we thought about what we can try to do on the Power Lunch, we're like, we have so many people in the primaries. How do we do this? So yes, we're crazy, and we're trying to make sure we let everybody have a little hot minute, because this is our Democratic family.
Yes, and so I want to just sort of tell the whole audience about this hot minute today and how it's going to work, because I think it's so exciting. Primaries can be so tough sometimes, but we know at the end of the day, we're going to get behind whoever our candidate is. And we're so excited that they get to tell something about themselves today so that folks have a chance to emotionally connect. So they all get one hot minute to dazzle us with something about themselves. Either they can pick a word and they can tell why that makes it important and why it is motivating to them. They can either talk about what motivates them to be in the race or what makes them a champion of the democratic values. And so, or a story at the door. We know that happens sometimes.
I love a good story at the door. Could I just say that? And I know you ran for office before, so you understand how hard it is to be in this race and what these people are feeling. So I want a two-way street here. Let's feed our candidates in the room, in the chat. That's our job. And let them today make us feel like our as Democrats together, we are going to pull together and win. And we know that it's tough when you have so many people in the primary, or we don't have everybody in the primary. We have candidates that don't have a primary. So we let them come in too, because we want to hear from everybody, right? We're kind of goofy that way. So let's get that started.
Catherine, before you get started, I wanted to say one other thing. And I know we're really short on time. So my clock, I hope people can see my clock in the corner. So everybody can sort of see where we are on time. That's great. And then if it's not on me, it'll be on you. And then we have a really nice audience today. And I wanted to leave everybody with this, to know that we are all in this together. Change won't come if we wait for some other person. So whether you're in this primary or whether you are in the audience, It won't come for some other person or some other time. We're the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. And that was President Obama. That's how we're going into this today.
I love it. I love the smiles. And I know, and I want to say that everybody to bear with us. We're doing this new thing with the timer. We'll try to do our best and be as fair as possible and gently make sure people get to wrap up. But we also, we also have to make sure that we move through our time. And also we have an extended show. So be prepared to be comfortable. Get your coffee, get all settled in, and let's go. Let's start with our first round. And we have our fun applause buttons maybe ready. How about some applause, Robin? Get that ready for us. And then we're going to bring our first person up alphabetically. Welcome, Herb Jones. Let's get you queued up and ready for some actions in CD1. And then we have Leslie Mehta. Nice to meet you, Leslie. Good to see you here. So in your minute, we'll start with Herb first and then go to Leslie. And then we will go through our run of show. So you'll introduce yourself and then you'll go ahead with your minute. So once we get everybody settled in, we'll get started. Because so much is going on, just in politics alone. I'm sure you're all wondering about, just as we get everybody up on the screen, I think we have our full house. Oh, good, we do. So let's get started. Right, we have Gloria. Are you going to bring everybody up, Robin?
Ken? Do it by alphabetical. Herb is first, then Leslie, then Jake. Go ahead.
I know I had Gloria on here, and then I don't. So that's the break with Gloria. Okay, good. So Herb, let's go with you. Timer ready?
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you all for having me. What makes me a champion of democratic values are, number one, my values are freedom, democracy, truth, and justice. I've demonstrated my commitment to these values and to my country and community throughout my entire life through service. Excuse me. I've worn the uniform of a United States Army officer for 30 years. I've led soldiers in peace and in war. I'm a disabled combat veteran. I was awarded the Bronze Star for my service in Iraq. Excuse me. I continue to serve my service to my community by being an active member of my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm a charter member of my Rotary Club here in New Kent County. I'm a member of my Ruitons Club. I've coached, I've done a host of things. I've volunteered in all kinds of ways here in my community. I've coached AAU basketball. I've coached youth soccer. I've served on the board of directors for a number of community action agencies as well as other nonprofits. Currently, I am on the board of directors and serve as the chair of the board of directors.
That's fine. Sorry, guys.
Look at you, that timer. So Herbie, I'm going to say that being first is hard because we're getting to use our timer, but that was a great hot minute and you set up. So good for you, Herb. So Herb Jones and CD1, and we also have your primary candidate here. Well, let's get that timer ready. Leslie Mehta, let's go.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Leslie Mehta, and I am running for the 1st Congressional District of Virginia to flip the seat from red to blue and oust 16-year incumbent Rob Whitman. I'm motivated by service. I've been a lawyer for over 20 years, and I'm proud to have served as the former legal director of the ACLU of Virginia. I'm also a mom who lost her 5-year-old daughter to a severe and rare disease, and then channeled that grief back into passing federal legislation co-sponsored by Representative Abigail Spanberger, who has now gone on to endorse my campaign. I'm motivated by the real impacts of investment in public schools. I'm motivated by the need to codify Roe v. Wade and IVF protections into federal law. I'm motivated by common gun sense safety measures. I'm motivated by doing what's right, even when it's difficult, and I'm determined to make a difference for families across the district. I would be so grateful to have you on my team. LeslieMehta.com.
There we go. Awesome. That was a great hot minute. So we're moving on. I mean, let's just say real quickly, CD1, what an area that we've been trying to turn blue now with the redistricting. So Herb, Leslie, Thank you. Put your information in the chat and we'll move on to around the globe in Virginia, folks. We're in the Tidewater coastal region with Missy and Jake and CD2. We'll let you introduce yourself. Give yourself a one. We're going to go to Jake. So when you're ready, Fennell.
I'm ready.
Let's go, Jake Denton, CD2.
Thank you all very much for having me. I'm Jake Denton from Virginia Beach. I'm a constitutional law and civil rights attorney. The day I decided to run for Congress was the day that I realized the Supreme Court was going to grant Donald Trump's appeal that he's above the law. This argument is a dagger at the heart of our Constitution. In my discrimination and police misconduct cases, I take pride in fighting for the rights of my clients when nobody else will help them. And right now, with my experience, I believe the best way that I can make a difference is by defeating Jim Kagan's and turning the 2nd District blue. I first met my wife in 3rd grade at our bus stop, and we live about a mile down the road right now, and we love raising our kids in our hometown. But thinking about our children and their rights, that includes their reproductive rights and their right to vote, that's what motivates me to win this race. So check us out, JakeDentonForCongress.com. If you live in the 2nd, I ask for your vote. June 18th, save the date, vote for Jake. Let's go.
All right. Good job. Good job. And I just want to remind everybody, thank you, Jake, for that. It's really great to meet you. If everybody can mute themselves that aren't talking, we're getting some kind of little feedback there. And I'm going to mute myself also when I'm not talking. It happens. All right. CD2, down in Virginia, Norfolk area. Missy, let's give you a minute. Go.
Happy Friday Power Lunch. It's great to join you again. I'm Missy Cotter Smasal, running for Congress here in Virginia's 2nd District. I'm the candidate who will beat Jen Higgins in November. I'm a Navy veteran. I served as a surface warfare officer during Operation Enduring Freedom. I owned and operated a small business in Virginia Beach for over a decade. I run a nonprofit that honors women who served in the military post 9/11. And I currently serve as your Virginia citizen rep to the Chesapeake Bay Commission. I am committed to protecting and defending our abortion and reproductive rights, our voting rights, and our democracy. I am the DCCC Red to Blue candidate that signifies the campaigns that are key to a Democratic majority. And I was the first challenger in the country to earn Hakeem Jeffries' personal endorsement. I'm also endorsed by Planned Parenthood, Emily's List, the National Organization of Women, Giffords PAC, LCV, and over 50 elected officials, including the entire Virginia Congressional Democratic delegation. So thank you to Network Nova. You guys are amazing. Your advocacy in the Commonwealth is great, and I look forward to winning with you in November.
Awesome. Wow, that was one hot minute. So we're around the Virginia again. Thank you so much for representing down in CD2. We've done a lot of work down there. Network Nova's gone to knock doors for Aaron Rouse when he was running, and before you, Elaine Luria. So we're so grateful for Jake and Missy to standing up. Now we're around to CD5, which is another area of the map where we want to see some change. And there's 3 people in that primary. Today, we're happy to have Gloria Witt with us. So we're going to get that timer ready for Gloria. And Gloria, make sure you're unmuted and ready to go, my friend. We'll give you a chance. There you go. Welcome, Gloria. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Gloria Tinsley Witt. Born and raised in Amherst, Virginia. I value faith and family, justice, as well as community building. 3 decades of corporate leadership experience, a small business owner, and 4 decades of a community service. What drives me? Our rights and freedoms are under attack. And I wanted to re-energize disappointed voters, particularly African-American men. I've discovered it's a lot of people that's disappointed with politics right now. And so I'm involved with that. What else motivates me is this idea I want to legislate for we the people, and particularly codifying Roe versus Wade. The story I tell is I'm engaged with young people. A woman approached me. She thinks she's going to hell because she's pro-choice. Wrong. We need to codify Roe versus Wade to protect our democracy. Vote for Gloria Witt.
All right, Gloria Witt, thank you for coming in from CD5. Again, there's 3 folks in that primary. What an area that we've been working hard in. So grateful for your time today. Now going around to somebody that doesn't have a primary, but a great story and a great candidate in CD6. We're so honored to have you here. Ken Mitchell, let's give you your hot minute and introduce yourself to this lovely audience.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you on Friday Power Hour today. I'm Ken Mitchell, and I'm running for the 6th Congressional District in the Shenandoah Valley. I'm really inspired to hear from my fellow candidates that they share the same urgency I feel about the election and why it's so important for us to win. It wasn't easy to choose from the prompts given. It was a great list, but I chose the word integrity. To me, integrity is what it's all about. I believe that defending and keeping our democracy is based on the common shared belief that we must always choose to do the right thing for our country and for our fellow Americans. I know it's not always easy to do the right thing, but right now it's the most important thing that we can do. In November, we must vote people with integrity and who are strong enough to do the right things when things get tough. We must reject those who do whatever it takes to stay in power. Our democracy depends upon it. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you for that. Thank you, Ken. And I know, again, out in CD6, what our job is is to make sure that people understand the whole map in Virginia. We really wanted, Network Nova's always wanted to bring everybody together, and I love this room for that. And I'm so excited to have Karen Baker here from CD9, which is huge Southwest red area that she is standing up to run. Your hot minute, Karen. We got you going. Unmute, get ready. You're on camera.
Okay, I'm Karen Baker. I'm running for the 9th Congressional District, a district that is larger than the state of Virginia. Excuse me, that's true too. Larger than the state of New Jersey and about a third of the state of Virginia. It's very red. My opponent has had 7 terms and he's done nothing for the district. My word today is, and my word every day is service. I gave 30 years of service to the federal government as a lawyer and a judge. I've given my time and my whole life to service, also as a nurse in a small rural hospital. What I want to do is share with my district that you can do something. There's a lot of disappointed voters, a lot of voters who think that nothing will do any good. Of course, they've had this man here for 14 years who's done nothing. But I want to show them that I will work for them and we can do this. We can make change. And if we get out and vote, we'll do it.
Nate, no stopping us now. What a great first round. I don't know how the room is feeling. Put your thoughts in the chat. Let's give all these candidates some boost, please. And also if you're in the chat. Yeah. I'm feeling really super. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good too. And I know some of the hardest districts that we have, Karen Baker, service. I love that word. I think that is a word that Democrats ought to think about in terms of who we are, because that really is what we do. So I love the service. I love Ken Mitchell's "We leave no one behind." I think those are important things for us to think about. So I love it.
I'm practicing with my timer.
Yeah, I see. How you feeling about it?
Nervous.
I was a little nervous too, but I think I pulled it off. I think I didn't cheat anybody.
I think we're going to do good. I'm just thinking, okay, got it. All right, so let's get the next round started. And I want to say something about our CD11. Gerry Connolly's in NATO right now, and we have a video we'll show at the end. And our other candidate, Asan Nassar, has not showed up. So we do have CD11. They are obviously were invited. Gerry Connolly is in NATO, but we'll show the video later. So we're going to go straight to our other area of the map, which is hot minute. Mike, let's go. I'll let Fennell, you take it from here, and I'll
so welcome. Thank you. So welcome CD7. So this is a really important district. It's Abigail Spanberger's old district, and we know that she's running for governor. So let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and get kicked off. So Catherine, when you tell me you're ready, we're gonna start with Andrea.
Let's go, Andrea. Go.
All right.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's exciting to be back with you. I am Andrea Bailey, and I am running for Congressional District 7. And my favorite word is servanthood, with a little caveat of faith. And what I mean by that is that I am motivated by the experience that I bring to the table for this district. What that means to me is taking a little girl from St. Louis, Missouri, raised by a single parent in a 4-generation home, who taught her the value of voting, who taught her the value of good health care, who taught her the value of just fighting for your community, no matter what. And so I bring that to the table as a veteran's wife, 23 years in the Marine Corps, serving nationally and internationally. And I'm running for this race to save our democracy, to bring back those servant entities with a Democratic strong arm, to make sure that we are serving our community while we're fighting for our democracy. I am currently the supervisor in Prince William County. Thank you. And please support me.
Thank you so much, Andrea. So I'm looking at the screen. So I'm going to say that I don't see Carl. So I'm going to go to Elizabeth Guzman, and I think I see her down here.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Elizabeth, your video is not working at the moment.
I don't know what's going on. I'm in a public place, but we can go with voice. That's not a problem. I'm sorry, but I'm in the midst of the campaign trail and I'm in a public network. So, but if you guys could hear me okay, that is fine with me.
All right, we can hear you. So Catherine, you want the letter ready? Go.
Okay, well, hello, everyone. The very reason I got involved in politics was to defend our democratic values. When Republicans in Prince William County passed a racist policy targeting people like me and my family, I led the effort to repeal it and help flip the Board of Supervisors and the school board. The 2016 election of Donald Trump and his anti-immigrant rhetoric was a turning point. My son, born and raised in Virginia, feared we may have to leave our home. Seeing his fear ignited a fire in me to safeguard our freedoms. That is why I ran for delegate in 2017 and joined the unstoppable and badass women from Network Nova and show Virginia what grassroots was capable of. And flip a seat held by Republicans for 26 years by double digits. I introduced over 100 bills in Richmond, including collective bargaining and paid sick leave with me as
there we go. You did it. You got your minute in, your hot minute, and we're sorry we don't see you. Elizabeth, we know you're hot on the trail. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
We do. And so now if we're ready. Thank you, Elizabeth. Now we're going to go to Margaret. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Catherine, let's go.
Wait, yep. I hold on 1 second. Let me cancel that and let's start again. We're ready for Margaret Franklin. Great. Welcome. Let's get started.
Well, thank you all. Thank you, ladies. And thank you for allowing us to be here. I am Margaret Franklin. I currently sit on the Prince William County Board of Supervisors, and I am running for the 7th Congressional District. I am running because I understand the challenges that working families face. I grew up in a single family household where my father raised my sister and I when my mother passed away from colon cancer. From there, I understood the challenges that he faced with regards to healthcare costs. And so I'm pushing to reduce healthcare costs, to expand access to healthcare. I'm also focusing on education, public safety, and of course, women's reproductive health. I'm running for this office because I have the experience from working on Capitol Hill for 8 years in both the House and the Senate. And also I've been effective on the local board by creating a child advocacy center, also leading the effort on affordable housing and creating a housing trust fund to the tune of $25 million. So hoping that I can count on you all support because I understand the issues that working families face and looking forward to meeting all of you on the campaign trail. We'll put our information in the chat and hoping you can support. Thank you.
Woo, on the money. All right. How about that? CD7.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So we're going to go next to Briana. Hi, Briana. How are you?
So well, thank you. So good to see everybody.
It's good to see you too. So Catherine, when you are ready, let us know.
Let's go.
Great. Whether it be supporting postcard programs in homes, church basements, coffee shops, or grocery stores, or assisting with the coordination of the Women's Summit, or speaking on the main stage with my badass colleagues, encouraging you to get up, stand up, and act up. It is always a pleasure to join our friends here at Network Nova and the rest of the grassroots community. My word for our campaign is commitment. A commitment is a promise. And as your next Congresswoman, I am committed to supporting an assault weapons ban. I am committed to fighting for reproductive freedom. I'm committed to ensuring that our farmers and small businesses have the resources that they need and investing in an economy that works for all. And I am committed to protecting an environment and our open space. But most importantly, I'm committed to listening to the needs and the desires of the 7th Congressional District and representing the vision in Washington. Join Team Sewell today. We are running a true grassroots campaign and would be honored to have you.
Woo! I love that little beeper. Thank you, Briana, so much. And CD7. So thank you. And if you could stick around, we understand that you guys are busy. So if you all have to hop, we understand. I want to say a few things about CD7 and to the team in the room. Michelle McKinney is our community builder up there. We have some candidates that aren't here yet. If anybody can ping them or make sure that if they're having any issues, if you go ahead and see if you can follow up with some of them. In the meantime, how are you feeling, Fennell? How are we doing?
I am feeling good, and I am really truly inspired by what I've heard from all of the candidates. And I hope our audience is inspired too. And I think this is what this was intended to do, to let you know that we have fantastic people, and we should be really, really proud of them all.
I know it is amazing to see our bench. And if you've been in this thing, well, lots of people in this room have been around doing this for 20, 30 years. We've only started since 17. Again, I can't say enough to make sure people know about the work we're doing, that we love to do to help people win, from postcards, door knocking, texting, and from the Women's Summit. Make sure you're signed up for that. We want you in the room. We have a candidate room where if you're in the room right now listening to us, if you're on the Spotify listening to us, we will have a candidate room. The only breakout at the Women's Summit is going to be investing in our bench, because investing in the bench, investing in candidates, campaigns. If you're on a committee or if you work on a campaign, contact us, get a ticket. We have Lisa Savalia heading up that candidate room. That's going to be the hot place to be. And if you won or lost, it doesn't matter. Over the years, our favorite people are people that stay in the game for our party. But we just want to make sure now we have your attention. And we also have, as an activist, a full day of programming on Friday and Saturday. That's our little, that was just a little plug. How did I do?
I think you did great on the plug, but I wanted to go back to the candidate room, because it can be for campaign managers. It is everything you ever wanted to know about being a candidate. And we always think we know everything, but there's always something new to learn from each other, but also from the great folks that we have running that room and who will be providing information and guidance in the room. So I'm really excited about that. The
people that have been running will get great advice for the candidates in 2025. So we're looking at, all the way to the governorship people. We have to make sure. Let's get back to our next area of the map, which we know is Jennifer Wexton's map. And that's a really story for us. We got our start in 2017. That was a red area, folks. Barbara Comstock was there. And guess what we did? We took our little bags and we went out there and we parked it in the middle of this red area, right? Yeah, bring up the guest from the CD10. Jennifer Wexton, we got her elected. We got Spanberger elected. We got Elaine Luria elected. And now we just want to say a great word for Jennifer Wexton. She's somebody we all admire, and she has now stepping down because of health reasons. And stepping up is a great bunch of folks who want to make sure that we do some good out in Loudoun and continue doing good. So again, Fennell, am I the timer?
I'm the timer.
Oh, I'm the person. Okay.
You're the person. I'm the timer.
I love it. Okay, you're good. Okay, I want to make sure you got it. You got it up. Okay, so we're going again in alphabetical order. And first up with your hot minute, if you can get her ready, is going to be Jennifer Boysko. Are you ready welcome, Jennifer?
Thank you so much. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's start again. Okay, go ahead.
It's so great to be here on the Power Lunch again. I love you guys and have enjoyed working with you over the years. I have been involved in politics my whole adult life. For nearly a decade, I've represented about 200,000 people who live within the 10th Congressional District. And this is my 10th race in 11 years. I've been outspent 3-1 in a number of my races, so I know how to fight. This year, I want you to know that this is a tough race, but I am someone who leads with my heart and with my values. I've been able to get a lot of stuff done. I've passed 62 bills in my time in the General Assembly, and I do that without bullying other people, without manipulating people, and without cutting deals. You know who I am, you see me, that's what you get, and I will always work collaboratively with people. I'm the recognized champion on repro rights in the Senate. I have been working to pass the constitutional amendment and to protect our access to contraception. I'm also standing up for.
Got your minute. Sorry, Jennifer. Hey, but I just don't want to interrupt. I want to interrupt, but I don't want to interrupt. Fennell, are you frozen? We apologize. We have technical difficulties. Robin, I see Fennell is maybe frozen at 10 seconds. So Jennifer, finishing up the Champion Reproductive Rights, thank you for your hot minute. And I want to make sure that we move on, but let's see if I can get Fennell back. And I saw that we do have some candidates entering the room. Thank you for I'll just go ahead and be the timer as well. How about that? Okay, Eileen Fillercorn, great to have you back in the room. Great to have you here. Thank you for your time. Are you ready for your hot minute?
I'm ready, Catherine.
Oh, let's go. Let's roll. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back with you all. Robin, Sarah, Catherine, Fennell, wonderful. I'm Eileen Fillercorn, the 56th Speaker of the Virginia House of Delegates, and I'm running for Congress because now more than ever, we need women on the front lines defending our rights and our freedom. First as a mom, then in the federal offices for the Governors Mark Warner and Tim Kaine, and then as delegate and the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House. My mission has always been to protect our families. As the first woman to be Speaker, I took on Republicans. I led the charge to roll back extreme right-wing abortion restrictions. I protected our democracy, holding election deniers accountable. Now it's time to take that fight to Congress to codify Roe and protect our democracy. We need a leader with the courage and the know-how to hit the ground running on day one. Someone proven, effective, tested, and a leader like me. I believe on that candidate, and I'm not alone in that belief. That's why I've got Ralph Northam endorsing me, and Mark Herring, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, Congressman Jamie Raskin, and so many others. They know that in Congress, I'll have the courage to fight for issues like securing abortion access, expanding voting rights, and defending our democracy. Thanks so much.
Thank you. That was a hot minute. I love it. Thank you, Eileen Fillercorn, and I appreciate you coming in. If you want to stick around, just please do. And next up, let's go around. Boy, this is a big contested field. I'm so glad you're all here. It's great to see you all. We're going to go to somebody I have never had the pleasure to meet, Marion Devoe. We're glad to have you here on the Power Lunch. Just want to make sure you're comfortable with hundreds of people watching you, and I'm so glad you stepped up to run. You have a minute. I'm going to start your clock. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's go, Marion, go.
Okay, I'm Marion Devoe. I'm running for Congress, and I am the barrier shielding the Virginia voters from career politician. I myself, I'm not a career politician. I'm a public service and have been for over 30 years. I'm also the only real Vietnam combat veteran in this particular run. So I'm advocating for affordable housing, women reproductive rights, gun violence prevention, and our border safety. I'm running for Congress to make life better for all Americans, not just that 1%. I have a passion about Americans across the board. I have a passion for all Americans and making life better for everyone, particularly with affordable housing. I'm looking at running for Congress to make things better in the rural areas of Virginia. I'm not going to ignore the rural part of Virginia like some of the candidates have. I'm hoping that you will support me and my run for Congress to make life better for all Americans, all Virginians. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And let's remind everybody in the room that we're here with this great candidate power hour, getting everybody a chance. This is CD10 if you've just tuned in with the candidates running. And we want to give this a chance for candidates to shine and dazzle and be in a positive light with their their people that are running, and talking about yourself in a way that really makes us feel positive about being a Democrat. So next up, I want to welcome, in alphabetical order, Delegate Dan Helmer. Welcome. And you ready for your hot minute? Give me 1 second, Dan.
I am, Catherine. Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can. I want to get my timer started, and I lost my pal Fennell Norton, so it's all me. So let's go. You have a hot minute, Dan. Go.
Well, I am so happy to be back with you all. I am Dan Helmer, the Democrat endorsed by the Washington Post for the 10th Congressional District, serving in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. I saw what happens when extremists trample on people's rights, which is why after the attacks on January 6th, I wrote the bill to ban January 6th insurrectionists from serving in office. and when extreme Republicans sought to deny access to safe and legal abortion, I led the effort as our campaign's chair to successfully flip the House for the first time in 60 years when the other party had the governor's mansion, courtesy of all of the doors and money that you guys helped knock and raise over the last couple of years. I am proud to be standing up to make sure we fight to protect ourselves against threats to our democracy, protect our rights against attacks by extremists, make sure we keep dangerous weapons off our streets, and take the fight that I've brought to the State House for our values to Congress. Please visit our website, danhelmer.com, volunteer, send resources. Let's go make sure we hold the tap.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. And if you could stay in the room, please do. Glad that you're here. And next up, we've had Krystle Kaul here. And Krystle, are you ready? I want to make sure I get my timer ready. Thank you for being here. You ready? Want to unmute so I make sure I can hear your voice, Krystle? It's okay. Can you go ahead? We have.
Sorry, it was saying you had to unmute me. It wasn't letting
Oh,
me do
I
it.
did. Yeah. Look at me. I guess I could boss everybody around. No, it's okay. Look, I lost Fennell. I don't know where she is. I'm sure she's going to come back from that broadband down on the Eastern Shore. But let me make sure you have your minute. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me today. I love the energy in the room. I am Krystle Kaul. I'm the only woman from Loudoun who's running in this race. I am the daughter and granddaughter of Indian immigrants. My grandfather came to this country to pursue the American dream, and I wish to give that back to folks here in VA 10. I have really lived the VA 10 story. I was a former director at the Department of Defense in the highest civilian rank. I broke a lot of barriers to get there. I worked closely with Secretary Mattis, but I stepped down when I was under the Trump administration, and I saw MAGA extremism taking over, and I am running to fight back against that. So I have served with the CIA Emerging Trends Technology. I led the ISIS crisis counterterrorism cell under our current Secretary of Defense, Secretary Austin. I'm a national security Democrat. I have spent my life protecting this country. I want to fight for reproductive health freedoms, having worked with UN Women Headquarters, gun safety, having lived in conflict zones, and fighting MAGA extremism. Thank you for having me today. And I hope I can count on your support. Thank you.
Right at the minute, right at the minute. It's so great. So thank you for making time to be here today, Krystle. And next up, Mark Leighton. Mark, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you before, and I'm so glad. Welcome to the Friday Power Lunch. I hope you're all ready with your hot minute. And I do want to say this is a great opportunity, folks, in this room to get to know the heart and soul of some of our people. And so, Mark, not a lot of pressure, but you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Leighton. Excuse me. I'm a librarian. I am a longtime Democratic volunteer. Let me tell you about my ambition for this seat. I think the best politicians are the ones who are thought leaders, the ones who are pushing a policy agenda. And that's what I aspire to in this role. I, for example, was the first person in the race to say that we should conditionalize military aid to Israel because they weren't doing enough to protect civilians. And that's rapidly becoming Democratic Party policy. So when you're out there and you take the lead on an issue and events prove you right, then that gives you a lot of credibility, and it gives you kind of a soft power that gives you a credibility. And I think that this is what this seat needs, because this is one of the most politically sophisticated districts in the country. And I think we should be a thought leader, and we should elect somebody like that. John F. Kennedy said, when I was a representative, I didn't know the power I had. So let's elect someone who knows that power.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Mark. And I hope you come back again to the Power Lunch and join our community. Oh, next up, and I want to say, just so people in the audience knows, Fennell has her power back, so thank goodness for that. I did okay with my timer, Fennell, just so you know, I didn't freak out.
I am so sorry, my power went out. So thank God for a generator.
Yeah, where you're in CD2, you need to have some congressional people help you get that broadband down there. And I want to say that we have Eugene Vindman up on the screen, and you're in CD7. Eugene, we'll come back to you after we go through CD2. Thank you for being here. So just hold tight with us on the screen. We're happy to have you. Do you want me to time, Fennell?
got the timer. I got my timer and I'm ready when you're ready.
Okay, so Michelle Maldonado is up next. Make sure you unmute. And let's go ahead. You have your hot minute.
I thank you so much. It is amazing to be back. It's always electric here. And I just have to say that I am so motivated running for CD10 after spending time representing, having the gift of representing folks in District 50 and now District 20. These unprecedented attacks on reproductive rights, contraceptive care, voting rights, DEI, affirmative action, our environment, all of those things are unacceptable. And we have fires all around the world, the Middle East, the genocide in Sudan, Haiti. We need people who can day one come and help bring skill sets that navigate polarized places and bring people together, have extreme and deep technical experience, which I do through the AI and the new and emerging technologies. I have worked to establish our Technology and Innovation Caucus, our AI work group, sit on a national steering committee. This is a moment in time where we need people who understand this 360 to help our nation and our people. I also want to work on housing. There's so much that's happening. I ask you to vote for me and to learn more about us and come.
Whoop, great. Thank you, Michelle. So awesome to be here. And what I love is just, again, the energy you guys are giving this room and the confidence. Next up, Travis Nembhard. Travis, all right, I want to make sure you're unmuted and I hear your voice before I give you, I want to make sure you got your full minute.
Testing.
Testing.
Ready?
Welcome, Travis. Let's go. Let's rock and roll.
All right. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to try to cram a lot in here. Son of 2 Jamaican immigrants, one of 6 boys raised to my parents and my 2 little ones and my wife, who's a public school teacher here in the district, are the reason I'm running to build a pipeline for the next generation of leaders. I bring a broad swath of experience despite being the youngest candidate in the race. A former judge, former financial regulator, former legislative counsel, assistant attorney general, and working on various civil rights matters as well. I also have experience running last year in House delegates race, thanks to many of you on this call and your support. There we had outperformed expectations, outperformed even President Biden by 14 points, had the highest youth early vote turnout in the state, had raised $2.4 million and deployed that just a few months ago. And Governor Youngkin spent election day in our district. We're going to need someone who can inspire the Black community, making history as the first ever African-American in Northern Virginia's history, Latino community and the youth community. Happy to answer.
Ooh, look, you even got muted. How about that? We're pretty good here, aren't we? I am just so excited, Travis, to see you again. It's been a little while, but thank you for being here. And next up, David Reid. I want to make sure I hear your lovely voice before we set the timer. How are you doing, David?
I'm fine, Catherine. Is this working?
Yes, you sound great. All right, go ahead. Your hot minute.
Okay, thanks very much, Catherine, you, Stair, Fennell, and all of the folks from Network Nova, because it's just absolutely fantastic. This is like old home week, because again, y'all helped me get elected in 2017, winning by the largest margin of victory against an incumbent Republican, getting 59% of the vote, and no one has beaten that margin of victory since then. I'm going to talk about 2 of the questions. One, why you got into this race, and also what and how it motivates my democratic values. I want to tell you that it's like when I was a junior in college, thinking back on the previous 10 years of my life, recognizing that I had grown up very poor and was on the cusp of becoming the first person in my family to get a college degree, I decided that I owed something back to the nation that had given me so much. That's why I joined the Navy in 1988, why I ran for delegate in 2017, and why I'm now running for Congress in 2024. All of those life experiences inform who I am as a person and who I am as a delegate, and I would greatly appreciate everyone's support as we go into the primary on June 18th. So thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. Great to see you too. What I love about the Zoom, it allows us, we never knew we had the ruby slippers to see each other, and now we do. It's really built our power and community. So Fennell, thank you, David. If you could stick around. If not, we understand y'all are busy people. And Eugene Vindman is here, and from CD7, we've heard for your colleagues. That's good. You're sort of, now you can.
Difficulties, apologies.
It's okay. We had, if you know what's happening in the room, we lost Fennell for a while with technical difficulties. So it's part of Zoom world. So thank you for being here, and your mic sounds good. You sound good. But now give him his minute and welcome, Eugene.
Thank you, Catherine. So I'm Eugene Vindman. I'm a husband, a father, a vet, an immigrant. My family came to this country. 5 of us, we had less than $800 in our pocket. And I'm proud to say that now I'm living the American dream. I spent 25 years in the Army. I stood up to Donald Trump. I reported his corruption. And that threat to democracy is not over yet. And so I'm fighting to preserve democracy, protect reproductive rights, and get politics out of the classroom. I'm proud to have been endorsed by the Washington Post recently, and I put together really a humbling grassroots campaign. So I'll pause there and reserve the remainder of my time for Memorial Day to remember those veterans that are not with us.
Thank you, Eugene. You do have, we're good.
Except we do have the video sent in by Gerry Connolly.
Oh, let's roll it. Let's roll Jerry's video. That'd be awesome.
I wish I could be with you live today, but I'm in Bulgaria for our May NATO meeting. I've been joining the Power Lunch since its very beginning, during the pandemic, and attended every Women's Summit. Since the Russian invasion 2 years ago, I've been a leader in Congress making sure that the Ukrainian people have the resources they need to fight depraved Russian aggression. In April, after 5 months of dithering, Speaker Johnson finally allowed a vote to resupply Ukraine with the military aid they so desperately need. I was proud to be an original co-sponsor of that effort and to join every Democrat in supporting that bill. Standing up for free people around the world is a core value of our party and indeed what makes us Americans. And we can't give in to those who offer false choice between securing essential services for our constituents or standing up for Ukrainians. We can and must do both. We have a Democratic primary on June 18th, and I'd humbly ask for your support. I'm the only candidate in this race with a clear record of fighting for women's reproductive rights, gun control, recruiting and electing scores of Democratic women here in Virginia, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, and standing up to Donald Trump. I was proud to share my experience on January 6th right here with you on this forum, just days after the tragedy. And I'm proud to have been one of the architects of turning 2 of Virginia's largest localities blue. And I'm proud to have been named the most effective member of Congress by the Center for Effective Lawmaking, sponsored by UVA and Vanderbilt University. I hope I've earned your support on June 18th. Thank you.
Now it's our time together, and let's give a big round of applause for everybody in the room. Let's do it and give some love. Let's hear it. So thank you. Robin, what do we got up there? We got some, here you go. It ain't no stopping us now. So let's just do a little roundup before we go to the after chat. What are some of your takeaways today?
Yeah, so for me, some of the takeaways was really, feeling the connection of all of the candidates. And I really loved the humility of all of our candidates because that's really what's required in order to be of service to people. And so I think for me, it was, for me personally, I'm always a little bit jittery about primaries because people, we forget sometimes that at the end of the day, it is really hard to put yourself out there. And so I am hoping that this time today lets us all sort of put ourselves in a different place to know that ain't no stopping us now, which is our theme, but that we're all in this together and no one is coming to save us, and that it will be up to us to participate in this until the end, all of us.
Yeah. And my takeaway similar, because I'm saying, looking at everybody and the kind of energy in the room, and everybody, obviously, everybody wants to be that candidate, be the winner, be the nominee. And I totally understand that. I'm a runner. I like to win a race. Why would you run if you don't want to win, right? But I think after that, we got to come together because look, Alito, Supreme Court Alito, flying his flag upside down. The problems we have with our country and democracy are huge. when you find that corruption at the the top part of our country that's supposed to really be representative of a laws and law and order, when you have a Supreme Court justice, not just one, but several, supporting an insurrection, I mean, and then it's really crazy. So when I think about what we're up against, and then the feeling of, you know, the polls are out there talking about we're going to lose and all this kind of negative nonsense. We need the candidates in this room, we need the activists in this room to all get together and really talk about these values to all the voters. And I'm hoping everybody stays in this game. So when we come to the fall, we still have the opportunity to even have a better way to we can fix things that aren't working that well, but we have to be able to win this race for so many reasons.
Yeah, Catherine. So you know, the other thing that I was thinking about, and I got to bring up Ken Mitchell because I know he doesn't have a primary challenger, but we got a chance to spend some time with him and Karen Baker at the rural retreat, and having a chance to talk to him about his opponent before, which they came together and decided that they would support one or the other, and they decided that it would be Ken. And so the person who was going to primary with him is actually helping him in the district that he thinks he has more power in, the area that he thinks he can support. And when I hear all the folks on this call, and I hear everyone's story, and none more powerful than the other. And I just think about the opportunity, because we are in a moment that in my lifetime, I've never been more fearful of where our country could go. And so we need every single person here, every single voice here to come together, because that's how we will win democracy. And that's what will decide what is more important to all of us, to each of us. And that is why, you know, I'm going to just, you know, finish my comments on change won't come if we wait for somebody else. It is us. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And that's the candidates, and that's everybody on this phone. And it's not any other time, but now. And so I feel heartened by what I heard today.
Yeah. Me too. I'm really excited. And I'm going to say again, another plug for the Women's Summit, June 28th, 29th. We'll be at the Capital One Hall in Tysons. Friday night, the Watermark Hotel. If you've ever been to the Watermark, it's really cool. It has the perch on top, has the food trucks, has everything. It's a self-contained just building of fun. And that's what we want to have. We want to come together, build our power. We have speakers from Swing Left, which we'll be talking about all our state strategy. We have also, Rachel Bidikofer, Hidden Where It Hurts. That we have that Gerry Connolly will be there. We also have Congressman McClellan will be there. Danica Rome. We had just a list. I can go down a list, and we have thank you to our sponsors, which we'll share later, but not today because it's a long list. Thank you. If you have sponsored us at the Women's Summit, get your ticket, get in the room. This is how we're going to do it together. So we're so excited about that. And then next week, no stopping us now. Next week, we're rethinking and we're doing new thinking, changing the conversation. We have Teresa Purcell here from Rural Strong. And man, talking about communication, she's awesome about how we really need to communicate our values, the democratic values. And Lydia Ozuna, she'll tell us about the Texas is doing a Friday Power Lunch. We have been mentoring them. They have started Texas Grassroots Strong. So this idea that we're doing, other states are doing it. And Lydia will be here talking about their Texas group. And Ned Howey, he's the author of Fixing Our Democracies and Winning Elections in the Age of Junk Politics. It's a guide to transformational campaigning. And this is what we bring to you every week. If you like what you see, become a patron. We want to see some bells ring today. Make sure you're supporting us. This really helps us get on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, audio version. And lastly, want to thank you to the team. Boy, what a big deal we did today. Robin up there in the booth, keeping us straight. Michelle McKinney, making sure everybody registered. Sarah Calhoun, making sure everybody got here and got the invitation. And just in general, we're so grateful for everybody on the team every week. And stay for the after chat. Let's make sure that you stay with us. We'll turn the recording off and we will continue the conversation. So stick with us, get your ticket. We'll see you next week. We'll see you in the after chat. Let's roll.